Hello, everybody, and welcome to a breakdown of the group selection show. Let's go. My name is Ashley, aka MiDNiTE. I'm on board here with Kingdom Soldier and IKON. What's good, boys? Listen, whew, these groups are spicy. I mean, so many of these CDL teams are so dang good. So I feel like the groups are always going to be spicy. But man, are they spicy, spicy. So, obviously, if you guys saw, the group selection show aired. But in case you didn't, or in case you want to be filled in, IKON, are you able to explain, like, how do they select who goes in what group? And then, yeah, we can move on and talk about the freaking groups.
Yeah, for sure. So at the end of the stage 3 major, the two teams that are in the grand finals, they take turns alternating back and forth which team is going to go in which group. So as you look here, you have Atlanta and New York, which are the heads of each group. And Atlanta starts because they won by taking whichever team they don't want to play and putting them in group B. So if you look across from group to group, you have Atlanta that put Toronto over in group B. And then from there, New York selects a team and puts them over in group A. So New York put Chicago over in group A. And then it just goes by which team was selected next. So Toronto put LA Thieves in group A. Chicago put Dallas over in group B. And it just crisscrosses back and forth until you get all the way through. And we end up with Atlanta, Chicago, LA Thieves, Minnesota, Paris, and Seattle over in Group A. And then New York, Toronto, Dallas, Florida, LAG, and London over in Group B.
Wow, bro. Well, thank you for just explaining that, because we actually did a take before this and I bombed trying to explain it. That was perfect. So I'd love to know, what's your guys' first impressions of the groups here? Kingdom, we can start with you. I mean, like I mentioned, all these teams are so dang good and balanced, and you never know who's going to pop off. But, like, what is there an easier group? What's the group of death? What's your opinion, Kingdom?
So I think that what the first three stages have done is really showed us clearly the ranking of teams in our league. And I think if you look at the top two in Group A and Group B, so basically the way I've looked at this is like I think that there's different groups and the different groups are playing for something different. I think the top two, everybody's playing to win. Let's just not even act like that's not true. But I think those top two teams in each group, they've proven that they have that winning caliber, and they've all been in finals. Well, except Chicago, but I'm throwing them in that group because of how well they did in the last event and lost in round 11 of Game 5 to Toronto. So, but I think that those top four teams they're in a little bit of a different category in terms of their abilities. I think Dallas has been bumped out of that group, and Chicago's kind of taken their place, and they probably will remain there, I would say, for these next two stages. I think there will be some shakeup. The next grouping of teams, the next two, like the Thieves, Minnesota, Dallas, and Florida, I think are really jockeying for position and trying to get as far away from 8th place as humanly possible. Of course, like Minnesota could win the next event, the Thieves could win the next event, and they're still going to be like top 5, top 6 because of the amount of points that teams like Atlanta, Chicago, New York, and Toronto have because of their runs. And so I think those teams are jockeying for position. Florida is a little bit different where they're not safe. I think Minnesota is safe based on points, but I don't think Florida is safe. And then Paris, Seattle, the Gorillas, and London are at the bottom, and they're just fighting for that Florida spot. I think they're all just, if they have, one of them can take it. And I think they're going to chase after Florida and hope that Florida gets caught slipping and find themselves in 8th going to champs. And so I think we're starting to see a good shakeup. Is there a better group? In my opinion, no, because there's so many new teams in this league right now. And you know what you're going to get out of a couple of these teams, but Minnesota's going to be completely different. The Thieves are a different team, and they're still shaping up with Hook. Dallas, people are rumored that they might change again, but they're still a new team with Fellow. They haven't really found their form. Florida is the most unexpected. We never know what to expect from Florida. They could be good, they could be bad, they could be horrible, they could be great. I mean, it's really up in the air. And then Paris, Seattle, the Gorillas in London, I think they're on an equal playing field. So I really think both groups are as well balanced as I've seen them throughout the year. It would be funny if sometime a curveball would be thrown in. Like, let's say New York, instead of giving Chicago to Atlanta, they gave them like Dallas. And then Group B was New York, Toronto, Chicago, Florida, the Gorillas, in London. Then it'd be the group of death. But I think it's pretty balanced right now.
Yeah, when I look at these two groups, I've changed my mindset a little bit in that a lot of the times when I see these groups release, I look at it from a Minnesota point of view because normally you do have those top 4 squads and Minnesota is one of those next squads that are taken. So I look at it from the teams that are kind of right in the middle of those groups and I judge based on who's underneath them, what their chances are of making it into winners bracket. So when I look at where Minnesota's at, if I'm them, I feel a lot more comfortable being in Group A than I would in Group B. Just because if you look at the teams that are underneath them, I think most people would agree that right now, Paris is, I mean, they haven't won a match and it seems like a month, and Seattle's roster is all over the place. So those should be 2 fairly easy wins if you're looking at the group play with the other teams that are in their group. Whereas if you look over at Group B, LAG is a really good, they're the 4th best S&D team in the CDL, and London has been on an absolute tear as of late. So when I'm looking at Minnesota, it seems like they should be able to get wins against Paris and Seattle. And then all you have to do is, we don't really know what to expect out of LA Thieves. They have looked really good at times. They have dropped matches that probably they shouldn't have dropped at times since adding Hook into their starting roster. So that is absolutely a matchup that Minnesota can win. Chicago has looked streaky at time. They looked pretty terrible throughout the latter half of stage 3. Then they go into the stage 3 major and they're beating everybody in 3-0 fashion. So the inconsistency is there for Chicago. Of course, that match with Atlanta is going to be very tough. But if I'm Minnesota, I'm sitting back. I'm pretty happy. I feel like we can get wins over Paris and Seattle. And if we steal one against LA Thieves or Chicago, that's the 3 wins that we need. And that should be enough to propel ROKKR into the winners bracket for the stage 4 major.
Good call, Icon. Like Group B actually is a little tougher now that I look at it. That's a good way to. I hadn't thought about the Gorillas in London, but they are the better 2 teams between them and then Paris and Seattle. It makes it more difficult of a group.
Yeah,
Dallas could be in the losers bracket. Easy in that group.
They very well could be. That Group B, I think that is the group of death right there. There's always one, right? I'm not going to, not every team in Group A or not any team is an easy, just W in this league, right? Everybody's so dang good. We got to see how the squad looks with Major Maniac back in the helm, right? So it's gonna be kind of scary to just dip our toes back in the pool and see how it goes in stage 4. So to finish this video off real quick, guys, what's the one match from Group A and one match from Group B you are most looking forward to? Kingdom, I'll let you go first because I was able to actually think of my answer because I knew I was going to ask the question, and then I'll let you guys go. I think I would love to see, let's benchmark it, right? Let's go up against Atlanta. Let's go up against Chicago, who's looking really good in stage 3, and see, where do we lie? Are we getting smoked? Is it close? Do we win? Who are we? I always think that ROKKR and Optic matches are super entertaining. I mean, shout out to the 1v3, absolutely nuts. So I'd be most looking forward to that in Group A. And then, wow, just NYSL versus Toronto. That's the easy call for Group B. So excited to watch that matchup. I'll let you guys go, though. Kingdom, what are your thoughts?
In the first group, Minnesota and Chicago. I think that's a determining game. We've seen that with where the ROKKR had a chance in the past to kind of beat a team that was on their level to see if they could move up into, that winners bracket. And I think that's going to be a good test for that roster, like you said. So I think Chicago and Minnesota is who I want to see play. I don't know what to expect out of the Thieves. In Atlanta, I do know what to expect out of. In Group B, man, New York or Toronto could easily 5-0. Like, it's possible. Like, I think Toronto dropped 1 map last time. They could have a similar run against those teams if they just play the way they normally play. And New York, it's going to be dangerous. So those 2 teams, that's an easy, I think that's going to be a juggernaut slugfest between New York and Toronto. I don't know if there's anyone in Atlanta's group that will go up against them with the same fierceness of those 2 teams. And so those 2 are going to be awesome to watch each other.
Yeah, when I look at this, listen, it's really tough to just pick one. So I'm going to put it like this. I feel like the top 2 teams in each of this group, have distanced themselves as I think that they're clearly the top 4 teams right now in the CDL. So anytime you get a matchup of those top 4 teams, Atlanta and Chicago, New York versus Toronto, I think those are going to be 2 awesome matches. But every time I initially look at these groups, I always look at those teams that are right in the middle, because on Group A, when I look at LA Thieves and Minnesota, I feel like whoever wins that matchup, they're probably going to beat Paris. They're probably going to beat Seattle. So when I look at that matchup, I think whoever wins that match could very easily be the team that makes it into winner's bracket. The loser of that match could be in loser's bracket. So when I look at LA Thieves and Minnesota, they're both coming off of roster changes. I think they stack up really well against one another. So I think that's going to be a very hotly contested match. Then when I look over at Group B, it's the same sort of thing. You have Dallas and Florida. Right now, honestly, to me, Florida seems like they're a little bit further ahead than Dallas is. Dallas has been struggling as of late, but with the players that you have on Dallas, anything can happen. I'm just not sure that Fellow and Crimsix can match up against Awakening and Skies right now. So for me, in Group A, of course, I want to see Atlanta and Chicago, but I think the matchup between LA Thieves and Minnesota could be the deciding factor for the last team that gets into winner's bracket. And when I look over at Group B, sure, want to see NYSL versus Toronto, but if Florida beats Dallas, I feel like Florida will be the last team in winner's bracket, whereas vice versa, Dallas could be that last team.
We're set up for another great stage, and it all leads towards champs at the end of the year. So, god dang. Oh, my goodness. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for joining me for the group breakdown of the group selection show. We'll come up with a better name at some point, but thank you, everyone, for watching. We'll catch you guys next time.